Welcome back to the show. I'm Phil Shaner with Sports Tonight. We'll start with more troubles for SU athletes off the field. 9 Sports has learned Orange true freshman linebacker Dennis McCormick was arrested and charged with second-degree assault. Redshirt freshman Keith Bolick was also involved. The victim, Gary Grant, has 100 stitches in his face after being hit by a beer bottle. McCormick turned himself into police. Court appearance is scheduled for Tuesday. Well, the Orange basketball team goes after another Carrier Classic championship tonight, the 20th anniversary title game against Eastern Michigan. Syracuse winners of 17 of the previous 19 classics. The only loss, if you remember, coming in 1980 to Maryland and 1991 to St. Joe's. Eastern Michigan riding high after last night's buzzer beater win over Old Dominion. The Eagles soaring into tonight's game against Syracuse, sporting an unbeaten record.
Eastern Michigan is a very work hard on the other end.
Thomas and the Orangemen take on the Eagles of Eastern Michigan tonight at the Carrier Dome, 8 o'clock. All the highlights and more coming up at 11. College hoops today, 4th-ranked Villanova hosting Coach K and his number 14th Duke squad. This one all Blue Devils, second half off the inbounds. Legend buries the jumper and draws the foul. The Alaskan native leads Duke with 19 points on the afternoon, a big game for him. Then the Devils get it going on the fast break. Ricky Price to Jeff Capel lays it in on a nice layup and a foul. The Devils go on to hand Villanova its first loss of the season, 87-79. AHL hockey here in Syracuse tonight. The Crunch hoping to snap a 3-game losing streak as they face off with the last-place Providence Bruins. It's close but no cigar for the Crunch last night in Rochester. Syracuse, Crunch trying to get it going in the lighter jerseys. Pressing in Rochester's end, middle of the final period. Rochester pulls ahead to stay, even jarring the goal loose here, which stopped play for a while. And Coach McElharkey trying to find a way to get his team a win, taking down some notes, if you will. Both teams scoreless in the first. Each team scored twice in the second. And then the mid-third period goal makes the difference. Rochester wins it 3-2 against Syracuse. Third straight loss. Face-off tonight, 7:30 at the War Memorial. Now to the NFL Saturday game today, Week 16 beginning. The Philadelphia Eagles, who are battling for an NFC playoff spot with a big game, squared off against the hapless New York Jets. Late first period, Jets from the Eagles 48. It's a 2nd and 10, and the Jets go to some flea flicker magic here, trying to get it done. Glenn Foley goes deep to the rookie, Keyshawn Johnson. Watch him get open for the pass on the free flicker, and he stumbles his way into the end zone. The Jets led it 7-0, and a field goal made it 10-0 at halftime. But then the Eagles come back in the second half. Ty Detmer getting it done. Back to pass, looking for Irving Fryer in the end zone. That made it 20-20. And then it was time for SU soccer and football kicker, one-time kicker, Gary Anderson, for the point after. That made the difference. The Eagles go on to win the ball game after intercepting the pass. The Jets cannot get it done. A good day today for Coach Rose, winning 21-20. NBA, fun in the sun down in South Florida. Miami trying to stay hot against Toronto. The Raptors make this one a ball game. Damon Stoudemire shows off his downtown range. Coach Pat Riley and company come back. They go inside. This is Tim Hardaway hits Austin for the slam. And then the big man from Miami today, former Georgetown star Alonzo Mourning with the finish. He had 26 points tonight. The Heat leave it up to their nickname by winning tonight. They won 13 out of their last 14, winning 89-88. Sports elsewhere tonight, Lemoyne's basketball tips off tonight at 7:30. The Dolphins are at home against non-conference opponent Cheney. And watch out for flying walkie-talkies tonight in Atlantic City. Why? Heavyweight boxing, Riddick Bowe against Andrew Galata. They go at it later. And last time they met, big fight right before the fight. So we'll have to watch to see what happens tonight. That's it in sports.
Welcome back to NCC News. Sports time now. So Phil Shaner is in, and Phil, the Winford Walton situation kind of behind the SU basketball team now, and they're ready to move on.
You're right, Matt. They got to put it behind them because regular season right around the corner. Well, with Winford Walton leaving Syracuse, Jim Boeheim now must find a new big man to fill the middle. Last night, SU's final exhibition game against Yugoslavia, the Orange started Elvira at center. Will he be the solution? I seriously doubt it. To the Carrier Dome we go. You know how it goes. We stand on our feet and clap until we make our first field goal. Todd Bergen gets it done right off the bat with the 18-footer. Now some freshman action for you. Etan Thomas, get to know his name with the stuff. And SU having no problem. The O-Zone, they won Otis Hill. We'll see Otis a little bit later on. Todd Bergen with the steal on the D and the dunk. TB with 17 points in the night. Jason Sapola with the alley here. And LaShawn Howard, another freshman, with the finish for SU. And Yanulis also gets in the action as he goes downtown for 3. Now we see a little Otis Hill. You've been waiting for Otis. Here's the nice move, the power dunk. He had 11 points in the night as SU goes on to win it 69-41.
Jason played well again, and
The Orangemen start their regular season play on Friday night at the Carrier Dome against Winthrop.
Who's that?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. The Orangemen play a team you might have heard of in their second game. They played a defending national champions, the Kentucky Wildcats. To show you the difference between the two teams, here's Winthrop's basketball media guide that we got in the mail right here. It is, let's see here, a 50-page pamphlet. Now, here's Kentucky's. This baby's a novel. 250-some pages in this one. Is Winthrop going to get the Orange ready for the Wildcats? Yeah, right. Syracuse basketball in the NBA, another SU reunion as the Knicks played in Orlando last night. However, former Georgetown Hoya star Patrick Ewing stole the show as Ewing became the 23rd player in NBA history to score 2,000 career points. And here it comes, a nice easy lay-in for Patrick Ewing off the glass. More Ewing a little bit later on in the fourth quarter. Patrick Ewing can do it from the inside and the outside. Here he goes downtown, three-pointer, nothing but net. Now SU reunion, Ronnie Cycli with his new team gets the points down low. He finished with 8. John Wallace had 4 as the Knicks go on to win the ball game. The red-hot Orangemen take their 7-game winning streak to the Vet this Saturday to face the 1-9 Temple Owls. Temple Owls have always been the joke of the Big East, but believe me, this Temple team is much better than their record. Hey, they played Miami tough for a half. Are they good enough to beat Syracuse? No way. Temple is led by quarterback Henry Barris, who could cause SU some troubles. Orangemen quarterback Donovan McNabb talked about quarterback.
Get the tape 2 years ago when we played in veteran.
Syracuse and Temple, 12 o'clock in Philadelphia. When Lou Holtz announced that he was leaving Notre Dame at the end of the season yesterday, the first thing that came to my mind was Syracuse may be the last team Holtz will face. Think about SU and Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. How great would that be, Matt? We could beat Lou Holtz, Syracuse could beat Lou Holtz, and he can go out maybe to the NFL.
That's it.
One of many concerns Coach Paul Pasqualoni has coming into this West Virginia game is the AstroTurf, the surface here at Mountaineer Field. Syracuse played here 2 years ago, and the players complained about not getting enough traction on the AstroTurf at Mountaineer Field. They were slipping and sliding all over the place. Now Syracuse has brought extra cleats to hopefully solve this problem. After Monday's Chiefs game, the fans tried to do everything they could to hold on to the memories of this 62-year-old ballpark by even ripping up the turf here at MacArthur Stadium and getting a cup full of soil from Big Mac. Next year, the Chiefs will play in a brand new stadium behind me. Jim Kelly has been out the last 4 weeks for the Buffalo Bills with a pulled hamstring. He's scheduled to start today against the Dolphins. The question is Kelly ready? Collins is 2-0 as the backup quarterback with a win 3 weeks ago against the Cowboys and last week against Indianapolis. Kelly to get the start today against the Dolphins. 1 o'clock kickoff, Miami and Buffalo. This afternoon, the Syracuse Orangemen have the challenge of going against the top defense in the Big East, and they also have the challenge of the 12th man, if you will, the fans in the stands here at Mountaineer Field. They're known to be some of the rowdiest fans in the Big East. Last night, it was the Big League Stars in Arlington, Texas. Tonight here at Lackawanna County Stadium, it's the Future Stars showing off tonight. The average Major League fastball is 85 miles per hour. This Pottsville senior is anything but average. Jeff Yoder has put up big league numbers this season. He has struck out 147 batters in 77 innings. With numbers like that comes a lot of big league attention.
We've had 4 or 5 kids who signed major league contracts. This kid has been scouted from day one. The first game he pitched in Bethlehem, we had 25, 26 scouts there, and we've averaged, I guess, 15 scouts at every ball game he's pitched since then.
he pitched in a lot of Legion All-Stars and games, and he made the final with Harrisburg Riverside last year, and they had the East and the West, and he was one of the top 3 or 4 pitchers in the East, and that's where I first saw him, and he threw well that day. Loose arm, good body, good athlete. Knows how to pitch it for a high school pitcher, and his fastball is outstanding, and he's has an outstanding curveball for a high school pitcher.
Yoder has a scholarship to pitch for Clemson University, but with talk of being selected in the first few rounds of the Major League Draft, Yoder is left with a big decision.
Within the next 2 weeks, me and my mom and dad and my coach are going to sit down and really talk about it, but as far as I feel right now, I'm happy with Clemson, but it's going to take a really good offer from a professional team to get me to change my mind.
Pottsville already has one alumnus pitching in the major leagues, and many believe that Yoder may be the second. Chris Nabholz, a 1984 graduate of Pottsville, is a much different pitcher than Yoder. Nabby is a long-armed lefty that relies on off-speed stuff in the pros. Jeff is a hard-throwing right-hander whose heat is hard to beat. Other differences between the two pitchers is Nabby's in the big show, and Yoder hopes to be there soon.
He helped me a lot mentally with the game, and it's been a dream all my life. I mean, if the offer's right, like I said before, if the offer's right for me when I get drafted, then I'll take it.
Nine-year-old Casey McHale will have to find a new place to play foosball after the Nedrow Family Center closes on May 1st.
I probably have to find a new hobby because this has been one of my favorite places to go. It's been like a second home to me, so it's going to be very disappointing.
The Family Center has been serving the Nedrow community for 15 years with services like preschool, teen time, and other social service programs. The Nedrow residents were shocked when the Family Center director announced the center was closing.
A control issue about what the center should be and what it should offer. They don't think we should offer our social service programs. They don't think we should offer some of the programs that we are offering, or even let the center be used for some of the programs that are coming in here.
The town of Nedrow pays $41,000 a year to run the center. That money is not being cut. However, the center director does not want to give in to the pressures of the Onondaga Rec Commission.
One of the reasons that they're closing is that they feel very pressured by the town of Onondaga. Specifically, probably me, because I'm the one who directly oversees them as far as requesting information and not giving it.
What kind of pressure do they feel in this?
We have simply asked for registration numbers and participation numbers of the after-school program, which is held 2 afternoons a week, and a teen time program, which is held 2 evenings a week.
The children hope these letters will help keep their center open. The kids don't even understand why the center is being closed in the first place.
I'm upset right now as it is that it's closing. I don't even know why it's closing. I don't want it to close. I really don't. I don't.
The struggle over power between adults will leave kids like Casey McHale without a place to go after May 1st. That's when the Nedrow Family Center will close its doors for good. Phil Shaner, NCC News. Today is the day of love, Valentine's Day. NCC News visited 4 stores, and guess what we saw? Men. A lot of men waiting to the last minute to show their Valentine they care. The store manager at Fannie Farmer, Candy, said she noticed a trend.
Yesterday was mostly women. Today we're getting mostly the men. Maybe timing. You know, some women have more time during the day, so they get it done then. And today is the last minute, and men remember.
At Coleman's Florist in the Shoppingtown Mall, we met a Syracuse man who wasn't very selective with his Valentine's Day gift. He was running late enough already.
I have absolutely no idea. I grabbed the first thing I saw because I was supposed to be there for lunch about 10 minutes ago.
We heard all kinds of excuses today. However, we liked the excuse one Jamesville man gave us.
Today's my birthday, so I'm kind of wrapped up in myself a little bit, and always kind of forget that I have to get something for my wife.
At the Super Wegmans in DeWitt, the flower market manager said she saw mostly men today, unlike most days when women dominate the flower section.
About 20%. Men, 80%. Definitely men. A lot of men.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, they're in love. You know, they're trying to take care of their sweetheart.
Oh, let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you.
Like a majority of men today, I also waited till the last minute to pick up my Valentine's Day gift. In DeWitt, Phil Shaner, NCC News. Investigators look for more body parts this afternoon at Stanley Grobsmith Columbus Avenue property. They've already recovered 2 limbs. Grobsmith lies in critical condition at this hour after trying to kill himself early this morning at the Public Safety Building. Grobsmith was being questioned about an arm found in his pickup truck last night. A neighbor thought something was wrong.
There's about 6 cops in my backyard, like across the fence, and 2 of them were in plain clothes, which I thought was a little odd. And then I saw one of the cops pull out yellow tape, and so at that point in time, I knew something was up.
Something was up at 555 Columbus Avenue. Police say the 2 arms found are from an African-American female. Stanley Grobsmith is no stranger to the law. He has a history of prior statutory rape charges. However, his neighbors here on Columbus Avenue have mixed feelings about their neighbor.
Stanley was in my class in kindergarten at Danforth School.
Wow.
And me and Stanley go way back as far as that goes. But yeah, he's an okay. He's an okay guy. I liked him. He liked young girls, but I don't think he had it in his heart to do nothing like that, you know. But hey, you never know. I wasn't there.
Shocked because I know that guy is a little funny, but I didn't think anything like this, you know.
So you knew Stanley, you talked to him before and things like that?
A little bit. I didn't like him that well because he acted too strange.
The Syracuse Police Department's entire criminal investigation unit is working on the case. However, it might be quite a while until the total picture of this case is clear. Phil Shaner, NCC News. Today, more and more moms are working, and that has driven outside child care rates to an all-time high. A new Census Bureau reports that nearly 10 million American preschoolers, counted in 1993, have working mothers, and 30% of the children are enrolled in organized daycare. That's an increase of 7% in 2 years. That means fewer than half of the 10 million preschoolers were watched by relatives while mom was on the job. Right here in Onondaga County, the demand for daycare is higher than capacity. The director of child care for Onondaga County, Peggy Minch, says the number of people seeking daycare in the county is up as much as 100 families from previous years. Why such an increase? The director of Nurturing World Daycare in Syracuse says it's money reasons.
You know, I think with today's economy, both parents need to work, you know, for economic reasons, and a lot of parents are returning to school.
An increase in the early 1990s of dad staying home taking care of the kids while mom went out to work may not be the social trend after all. It now seems more likely that higher unemployment rates resulted in more fathers out of work, and they watched the kids because the family had less money for daycare. The latest Census Bureau report, called Who's Minding Our Preschoolers, suggests when the economy picked up, dad went back to work and the kids went back to daycare. Phil Shaner, NCC News.